Thank you all who are here in the Mahatma Lodge, and all the Mahatmas who may be listening in their own lodges, wherever they may be in the phenomenal plane, but in resonance and connection that transcends physical space or time. And so we are gathered for another satsang, which is a word that could also be called a satya sang, a gathering to be in the refuge of truth, truth that expresses Sat, the ultimate power of the real, of being that transcends all illusion, all limited thought forms, all limited paradigms and frames of reference, and allows consciousness to be downloaded in its complete, utter, unlimited nature, which is our birthright, as manifestations of that power of creation that is infinite consciousness, infinite goodness, love, and constantly, forever offering blessings of awakening, of grace, of freedom from suffering, and offering that path of truth that releases us from all suffering and enables us to abide in that supreme ocean of bliss that is the destination and the origin of every one of us. And so this is the sacred space that we are creating together. And those who are here have specifically gathered for that purpose. And sacredness means unity. Unity with the highest, with that ultimate, supreme, absolute presence of goodness and truth and beauty that is beyond limitation of form or thought, but the source and the potentiality of all creativity, both natural and supernatural, both personal and collective, pragmatic and archetypal, and that gives us access to that psychotechnology that alone can liberate all beings from whatever knots of karma, of maya, of self-torment in which they may feel trapped or stuck. And just having the faith that this knowledge has the power to free you, to dispel all obstacles to your fulfillment, can open that portal of awareness within you that gives you the permission and the power to release whatever root thoughts of suffering may still plague the heart in any way, so that life can be lived in joy that is unbounded, and filled with the purity of our essential nature as manifestations of that wholeness, that absolute presence that cannot be divided or fragmented, and that has never been touched by imperfection or pain or suffering or illusion, and to which we are destined and invited to return and to establish ourselves in that resonant frequency that is our true home. And so a satsang is a sacred space of refuge and oasis in which we can come and feel permission to know that freedom of pure love, that in some other space we might be too overwhelmed to give ourselves the joy of surrendering to. And this space enables us to let go of all of those lower and partial identifications that have kept us in conditioned patterns of behavior, of thought, of feeling that have repeated those traumatic traces in memory, whether repressed or conscious, that have had to plague us in life until we could come to understand the secret of mastery. And it's that secret of mastery over the mind which is granted through unconditional surrender to the infinite intelligence and power of being who is also merciful, forgiving, accepting, and who exchanges suffering for wisdom. And in the offer of that exchange and the receiving of the wisdom that makes the mind coherent, completely coherent with itself, with its world, with its every layer of the spectrum of consciousness, with its absolute infinite fractal nature on the phenomenal plane and its infinite noumenal unity as the observer and the awareness who knows. This offer of amnesty through the receiving of grace that comes from the surrender of the ego and all of its mistaken beliefs and misshapen self-images enable the emergence of that unfabricated beauty that transcends all power of pretense or of construction or of attempts at improvement or attempts at amelioration or denial or defensiveness of any kind, but enables the complete opening of the heart so that the radiance of our being as healing manifestations of the Source grants us that joy of giving that changes the trajectory of our destiny and brings us into intimate and immediate feeling of the union of consciousness with that presence that makes us both disappear and realize what it means to be real. So the floor is open. If anyone here or anyone listening anywhere wishes to ask a question or make a comment or share an experience or an imperience or contribute in some way to the exchange of illusion for truth and light and love, please feel free.